Alright, this is something that I've had trouble with for my entire life, and I thought it would be good to make a video going over ways that I tackle this. If you don't know who I am, hello. I'm Toki, I make videos on the internet, and I am diagnosed with ADHD. As such, I've struggled with dopamine addiction and focus for basically my entire life. And task switching is probably my least favorite habit out of all of my habits. At least, it was my least favorite habit. And today I want to show you the primary tool I use to get my task switching under control. When you're trying to get work done, you may notice that your mind wanders, and that's completely normal. But it's the reaction to this wandering that makes people different. Some people get very self-defeatist and start thinking that they're worthless because they can't focus on one thing. And there are other people who don't think much of their internal dialogue and just continue what they're doing. And these are all different forms of coping with your internal dialogue. To combat this, some people buy apps or invest in courses to try and fix themselves. But honestly, in my personal experience, there is nothing more reliable than good old pen and paper. No need for some new fancy app you pay a subscription for, or a new Notion template, or learning org mode, or something else of the sort. It's just pen and paper. If all those things work for you reliably, then that's great, but you're not watching this video most likely. This is what's worked for me consistently. Normally, wherever I may be, I always keep some sort of writing utensil and something to write on. Throughout the day, I'll make small notes. I used to do this on Emacs or some random markdown file on my computer, but over time, I've transitioned to doing it all on paper. Sometimes I am forced to use the iPhone Notes app, but majority of the time I have something to write with and somewhere to write. These small notes range from just short, quick thoughts to sometimes almost full journal entries to reminders for things to look up later. This last thing is really what this video is about. This notebook is used when I am thinking through a problem, but it's also used to keep me focused. I find that when I'm handwriting things, it's more ritualistic and I tend to stick with it instead of being on my productivity system where everything is just a key press away and I am very fast. It's more intentional to do this than going to another workspace or another tag and then writing stuff in there. With handwriting, it's like there's a layer of friction, right? Because I need to use a pen, I need to use a paper, and then I just need to go and like write and stuff, you know? And it sort of puts you in like the writing mood or the writing environment, which is completely different from just me being stationary on my computer all the time using a keyboard and mouse. Something I do a lot is brainstorm or think of new things I want to learn about, or just something that I'm curious and want to Google. In reality, these small things take up time and over time can completely throw you off, and they all prevent you from reaching a flow state. It's hard to get into a flow state of doing something when you're constantly moving your attention from one thing to another. So I just write down what it is on my mind, so then I can take it out of my head, put it on the paper instead, and then I just continue doing what I was doing. Sometimes when I'm writing things down, I realize this is stupid, I don't need to write about this, or I don't need to write this down, and then I just end up never Googling it because it doesn't matter. And yeah, I think the time spent just writing down things intentionally compared to just blindly and mindlessly Googling things and then writing things down has been a very important part of my life for some time now. And I hope that you guys can implement this too, as I have. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another one.